G'day, welcome. Early Crow, episode 22, take 4. We've had a few setbacks here, but we are back, and tonight's episode, or today, wherever you're getting it, is a big one. Joining us tonight, Tom, superstar Sydney Swans player, 39th overall draft pick, which staggers me, and we're going to get to that later on. Chad Warner, welcome to the Early Crow. Thank you for taking the time to join us, my man.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me, guys, and I'm very excited to talk some crap.
39th overall. Is that a soft point? Do you cop a bit of grief? Do you give a bit of grief about that at the club? Because it staggers me. Has that bloke still got his job?
Yeah, I mean, Kinnear, I think, has probably done really well with his job from that, the list manager. But it's more talked about in the house here with my brother Corey, because he was picked 40. Got him by one, which is great.
That's good. So you got that over him?
Yeah.
Is it pretty competitive at home?
Oh, I think not as much as it used to be, to be honest. I've got 3 other brothers as well, actually. So
there's 5 of you.
Oh, sorry, 4 of us. I've got 3 brothers all up, so 4 of us. But
are they younger?
Yeah, all younger. So back at home.
Any chance of a few more?
Yeah, they go well.
Yeah, well, one of them's draft years this year, and then the other is a couple years after that.
I love it. Don't you love that, Pratty? Like, let's talk about draft years. Like, probably going to get drafted. It's just a matter of where.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
Blue bloods.
Yeah.
What sort of stuff are you competing with at home? Like, are you sort of juzzy areas, Mario Karts, ping pong?
Oh,
what are we doing?
You guys love this at the moment. It's literally just golf. The youngest one is about 13, 14. I think he's off about 50. He's coming down 15 handicap now. He'll be under 10. He'll be under 10 by the time I get home. He's insane. He's got the best. I'll send you a video of the swing, actually. It's crazy. Like,
that's
stupidly good.
What are you off?
8.4 is official, but
What have you got him, Dicko?
8.2. Shout out to Ping.
I heard on the grapevine as well that you might have shot 2 over par. Was that around Christmas time?
Yeah, I went 1 over at the Vines. It was a month or so before. Like, I went with one of my mates, and it was easily the best I've ever played. It was in that flow.
That's awesome. And for those playing at home, apologies, it's only audio only. Dicko's jaw has just hit his table and broken his table because he is baffled that Chad's gone 1 over par for
What
18.
sort of deck are we talking here? Yeah, with the Vine, like.
Yeah, I mean,
where's your local? Is it the Dune?
Yeah, I'm at the Dune, and then I'll play at the Dune every now and then, but mainly the coast. It's pretty different to both of those. It's a pretty good course, but perhaps can probably back me up here. But my driving probably helps me, and this course, like, if you're driving it well, you're really, really going to do well.
Wow. All right. So the next time we go up, if we can,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking when we throw the balls up, do I want Chatty on my team or not? Because we sound very similar. Like, we're sort of bombers off the tee, and then it can sort of fall apart around the greens.
Yeah, my chicken's been shocking at that.
Wow. So, drafted 39, immediate impact at the Swans. What's a bit of your background? Like, grew up in Perth, WA?
Yep. Yeah, so pretty much Perth. Got 3 brothers.
Family sounds very important to you?
Yeah, very. No, they're great. Always love going back and seeing them. They're arriving Thursday morning as well for the big game, so that'll be great seeing them.
What do they catch, the red eye?
Yeah, they actually do. They love it. They get that excited that they don't really care, to be honest.
That's awesome.
That's elite.
Yeah.
Do the parents come, or they just jam them on and you pick them up? Like,
no, pretty much they both come over with the. I think the youngest is coming this time, so he'll be keen to have a hit as well.
Imagine that. How old is he?
13. He'll be 14.
Can you imagine being 14 just jamming your sticks on a Virgin flight for the red eye to get picked up by an AFL player?
How old does it make you feel that makes it 2010 birth year as well, Dicko? How old does that make you feel?
Chad born 2001, which makes me feel old.
Yeah, I'm still 2000.
Unbelievable.
That is unbelievable. that rattled me when I saw that.
Any other passions when you grew up, or was it just footy?
Yeah, well, I guess our whole family was pretty much any sport you could try out. I guess like athletics. Athletics was pretty big. Cricket, basketball, tennis, all of it really. Just sport in general was pretty much all we cared about, to be honest.
Is there any cricket at the club? I know there's a golf simulator. Is there any type of cricket? Tom's sort of low-key, very, 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 very happy with himself. Was a bit of an aggressive sort of left-handed middle order batsman.
You can play on the AstroTurf out in the field there.
Yeah, it would be we actually did it. When was it, Chaddy? It was last year pre-season, didn't we? We sort of had a bit of fun and games, and we played a bit of like a 2-over sort of game where you could face 6 balls or something, or an over game where you batted and had a bit of a slog, and it was good fun actually. There's a few cricketers. Chatty goes all right. Chatty, you went back and made like a ton, didn't you, like a few years back?
Yeah, there would have been about 2 and a bit years ago now in F grade, but.
Hey, don't mention that. Cut that out, Pratty.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Doesn't matter where you make them. Fucking, my jealousy levels are growing by the minute.
Hundreds, mate.
That's good.
At the Swans.
Yeah,
at the Swans. You've had a very, very good start to your football career. As a Swans fan, love the way you go about it. Very, very excited as to how you went about it Thursday week backwards. Are you still calling it Lakeside? That's what it was when I was there. The deck across the road from the SCG. You had your own footy for the majority of that game. Like, top of my head, I probably counted 11 don't argues, and 11 of them were successful. The barrier trial leading into this season was enormous. The wraps on the Swans are getting big even south of the border, which is very rare air. How are you feeling going into another year of football as you grow and improve naturally anyway?
Yeah, no, I think this is one of the most exciting years I've gone into, to be honest. As you said before, with the hype coming from other states as well, I think having the new boys that we've got and the way they've gelled and the way the team's gelled has been amazing. But I think having a bit more improvement under my belt and a lot more confidence, I'm very keen for the year too.
What specifically have you done this pre-season you think that'll give you a new edge in this year's competition?
Yeah, I mean, I've worked a lot actually on my sprinting, and I guess that's kind of big part of my game actually is my sprinting and technique and getting my top end speed a bit quicker, and I think that hopefully was shown the other day and hopefully can help me out this year, but I think it's made me a lot more confident in what I can do too.
What's it been like as a midfielder, two-parter here? Tom spoke to this a bit, but and we love Tom. We love Tom Hickey, clubman, an operator, a bit of a rare unit, which we love. But the general upgrade in service from Brodie Grundy, one, what's that been like? And two, is it harder to sort of say, big fella, give the hands? Because it's Brodie Grundy as opposed to Tom Hickey.
He actually doesn't like it. He actually runs with it. He runs with it. He reckons he's a midfielder sometimes. He just runs with it. He just takes people on and just kicks goals. So it is actually very hard.
Have you noticed a big difference though? And do you foresee a difference in the way the football club goes about its structural work at clearance?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that first part is his follow-up and his run with the ball, which I've never seen from a ruckman before, but just the way he is able to get over the top of other people, and I guess, it's great. We can, give other teams a bit more to think about now, and I think for Paps and myself and the other boys around there, being able to, get a bit more of that ruck exposure will help us massively, and hopefully the team as well.
One of my favourite players, and not just because he's a big early crow man, Justin Juzzy McInerney, who hates tomato sauce fame. I've noticed him get a little bit sloppy when he's tired and just sort of look to take the head off a little bit. Is that something you've had to sort of sit him down and chat to him about?
No, I haven't noticed it, to be honest. I've never noticed he does that.
Either have I, to be honest. I just saw it twice in the Pratty game.
I'll have to tell him that Dicko told you. I'll get the whip out.
the low worm burners, they come out, don't they, Dicko?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a very exciting. It's a very exciting year for the whole footy club. When we look to round one, which is only 2 nights away now, it's a big event for the football club. They're promoting the hell out of it. We've got a special jersey. There's guys I know who have been members since they were 4 or 3, didn't get an invite, but Mum did. But the fans are going to be there to watch you walk from the new facility all the way into the ground. You guys must be pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's something. Something very different to what we've usually done. And I think we've talked about it for a while. And yeah, I guess there's no better game to do it to start the tradition for. And I think it's going to be great to get the boys pumped up and see Paps celebrating like hell.
Got to keep the revs just at a reasonable level, young Thomas.
Yeah, well, it's. I think we're probably about. We walk over. It's probably about, maybe about half an hour, I reckon, before we start. So, it's the adrenaline's going to be pumping pretty high. 30 minutes out, so I might need to just pull it back a bit and see how we go. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good night.
Take a speaker, mate. Take some tunes with you.
Speaking of tunes, Pratty, who's in charge of the tunes at the footy club right now?
Errol usually is, but he just hates when anyone else is on. So him or Liz. Liz is actually pretty good because he's been playing Taylor Swift at the moment, which is positive.
Swifty to get the boys up and about. I was not expecting that.
There's plenty of
it's been great.
There's plenty of like techno and that heartstring goes on.
Bit of Marlon Hofstad.
Those stuff, but Errol and the boys love that stuff. It's gets you going. But I'm actually not much of a music man before a game. I like just to, I don't know, wander.
Get angry? What do you do?
Yeah, I don't know. I just talk shit and just have little spurs of like excitement and just fucking bump chat and fucking, let's go, fucking go on.
Yeah.
Shit like that. But,
I used to dodge close like you like the plague pre-game. Just
mate, Dan Hannery was one of the greats. I feel like I've got like a little bit of him. Like if I have like Hannah's, like it'd be just a nightmare. Like because before the game he was just a complete nightmare. Like just a psycho. And it was I actually loved it because he just got me up, and I was just like, look at him, he's fucking ready to go. Gary Rowan.
Is he the worst you've seen?
Oh mate. Unbelievable, but it's elite. Like I used to love it. Like you just walk around, and just bump you. Like,
the most Kirky at the moment.
Yeah, Kirky. That Brett Kirk gets you up. He's good, mate. Gary Rowan used to like go to the toilet and not because he like was real nervous, get nervous before a game. So he'd go in the toilet and like because Hannah's would like stir him up too much, so he'd just go in the toilet and not warm up with us. Like,
I was playing at Balmain once, and Nick Fosdyke was actually my coach. And there used to be a sneaky toilet upstairs. I just go up there and hide for like 30, 40 minutes.
Were you real anxious?
No, just didn't. I hated warming up, and I hated like all the revving. Like, it doesn't change my mindset. Like, just leave me alone. Go and take a deuce, play on my phone, maybe a cheeky dart, and roll down and get into it.
Gets you up and about, Chad. Are you up and about person or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably the same. I have a few little bursts of energy, but other than that, I'm kind of just happy to chill and listen to whatever music anyone else has got on. I'm not too fussed, to be honest. Just like to be low and chill out.
Yeah.
Taylor Adams. It looked like nothing to me. I watched it. I had it on. What night was it? I was watching the races as well. Maybe Thursday night.
Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
Yeah, I was watching Pakenham, and I saw him after the game. He's moving pretty freely. I thought he's fine, but it looks like it's going to be a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Well, from the sidelines, we weren't really sure, and we kind of thought he did his hammy maybe at the start, the way he was walking off slowly. But I think at first glance as well, the doctors thought it could be not even a week, but I think it might be a couple now. So he'll be right though.
Cool. Melbourne round one. There's a lot of spice being added to this pot, hey? Like, It's already round one. You're already itching to go. It's like ex-players now against each other. You got the 150 game. You got the big walkout. You got a fired up man with a skin fade and a bit of a mohawk, revving everyone up. It's going to be fucking on like Donkey Kong. It's huge, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't wait. It'll be one of the biggest games of the year, probably. And yeah, like you said, having the past players there will be pretty special for us and the 150 years. I think the place will be rocking.
Past players.
They're talking 40 plus there. Like the prelim final, I think there was about 40 or over 40,000 there at the prelim final. So, and the way that joint was pumping that night was amazing. So, looking forward to it. But even the amount of people are going to be watching the game on TV because is it even any NRL on?
I think there's an NRL game.
Yeah, there's NRL on. Yeah.
But yeah, like there'll be so many eyes watching. They're the games that you want to play, and that's why you play. It's you look back on these sort of games, and you really want to play them.
Do you worry about getting too revved up for these sort of games though? Like, do you guys just ride that wave and just trust it? Whatever, let's just enjoy it.
No, I sort of I'm just sort of an energetic person anyway. I'm always up and about and ready to go. But I sort of, when you're sort of in the race and that, you sort of switch on. I get a bit serious when I start getting in the race and switch on a bit more and start really zoning in a bit. That's when I'm really got my serious sort of cap on. But when I'm stuff around the rooms and having a bit of fun, I just like mucking around and. But yeah, that's all fun and games. As soon as we sort of run out that second time, that's when I sort of switch on.
As a younger player, Chad, have you sort of like evolved through that process of like worried I might be a bit too amped up here, or like, no, I'm used to this now, this is me? Is it a process that you go through as a young player to know what's enough for you and what's too much?
Yeah, I reckon everyone will probably end up in the end finding out what works for you and what doesn't. And I think like what works for me, I usually just go with the flow with everything. So whatever I'm feeling at the time is pretty much just what happens, to be honest. And if I'm in a snuffing around mood, like Paps was saying, that's just what it'll be like. And I think I'm not too worried about am I too hyped up or am I not hyped up enough. It's just like you said, riding the wave is probably what I do most of the time anyway.
Speaking of the past players, who would be like the top 2 or 3 you're excited to see? Like, who are your favourite past players at the Sydney Swans?
Oh, I love Mickey O. He's great.
Yeah, I'd go Mickey O, Goodsy, and Paul Kelly.
It'll be a good night because hopefully we get a win, and obviously there's a lot of ex players. Even I think Budweiser's coming down. It'd be nice to see him again. But if we win, though, I think a fair few of them will be in the rooms, and there'll be a good vibe. So it's important it's important we get a good win, I reckon. And they're always good nights when all the legends come into the club and into the rooms and have a good chat to us. It's good fun.
Another interesting week, and unfortunately Taylor Adams went down, but he'll be right. We'll be right. I'm feeling a big win round 1, but that's just me. Alistair Clarkson. He's in trouble for spraying a bloke that laid out one of his players. I'm confused. I'm old, but I'm confused. To me, like, I saw that sort of stuff in the under-8s. If that happened, I'd expect, my old man or my best mate's old man to have something to say. But it's 2024, and Alistair Clarkson looks like he's in a bit of trouble. What do we think about Webster's hit, firstly, in today's game?
Yeah, it was a pretty nasty bump. Probably the worst one I've seen for a long time. It was real 90s stuff. Left the ground, hit his head. Not really what the AFL want or anyone wants really. Luckily, Simpkins all right, and he's come out and said he's sorry. And I think that he's obviously hasn't gone out there meaning to knock him out. It's just a split second decision that he's made, and he's made the wrong one. So it is a footy act, and it was probably a bad footy act, but he'll learn from it. He's got 7 weeks on the sidelines now, but it's an interesting talking point though. If that's a final, and someone does that to our best player, and he's out for the rest of the game.
Oh, thank God. Yes.
I think it's an interesting talking point that needs. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's if that was a final, Simpkins their best player, he's out for the half of the game, and St Kilda go on and win that final. If it was a final, and Webster's got no
like instant ramification for his action.
You're raising the subject of a potential send off, or at least a binning, which I love in sport. I love them on footy trips. Binning blokes, sending blokes. It's good for entertainment, not only, and it's probably a fair thing in sport. It happens in a lot of other sports. You're sort of saying if that happened in a big game, there needs to be an instant ramification to level the playing field.
Yeah, I just think it's like obviously it's got to be subject to the bad action, but it's a good talking point. I think obviously it is very old school, and I think they have it in country footy, don't they, or local footy, but hasn't been in AFL. So I don't know.
They do have it in local footy. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's definitely like it's something you should have, but it's a good talking point that I reckon they'd be thinking about it.
What do you boys think about Clarkson?
No comment. We won't comment on that.
I'll answer, Dicko. I liked it. Like, surely as a player, you are happy to see that your coach is going into bat for you, especially if it's right or it's wrong or whatever it happens to be, or it's taken one way at the time. Like, at least your coach is going in and saying, "No, I stand up for you in this situation," especially with a young group of boys. That surely puts a fire in their belly. I'd be baffled if Paps or Chad answered the question, but that's what I personally think. Like, if I was playing footy and I saw my teammate get knocked out and my coach is going in and saying something about it, like, that puts a fire in your belly, and you definitely want to go out and play a little bit harder and know that your coach has got your back.
As opposed to him doing nothing about it.
Yeah, correct.
It's only words as well, right? On the media-ness bubble to think he had any other option, particularly in a preseason game with a vulnerable young list. If he doesn't back him in like a leader at war, he's got no hope of them doing anything, which he's got slim of it happening anyway.
Yeah.
The media down here is off its head. They just want clicks, and I think what it was sweet.
I think let's change topics so we don't get the boys in trouble. I've got one for you that you may not know, Dicko. Chad, is it still only one hole in one that you've hit in golf?
What?
Yeah, just the
one. Dicko, this will blow you. Oh, you don't know, Paps. Surely you were there, weren't you?
Mate, you were there.
I cannot wait, Dicko. You're going to lose your mind when you hear this.
Remember.
Can you set the scene and tell us how it came about, Chad?
I wasn't playing in my group, but we're at the it was probably 4 years ago now. We're at the Perth Joondalup hub.
Joondalup.
Yeah, when we had to go on the hubs for so we could play, and yeah, we pretty much had the whole golf course to ourselves, which is pretty nice. Hopefully do that again sometime. But there was one hole that because they'd cut off half of the course, and then this par 3 over this quarry was the first hole that were they gave us kind of a 9, and that's where ours started. And yeah, so one day we just went out, started on that hole, hit a sandwich past the flag, and just zipped it in.
Zipped it. He is off 8.4 two punters if you're playing.
He hasn't put anywhere near enough mayo on that story anyway, Dicko. This is first year drafted and first swing of the club on the golf course. I was listening to the Backtrack podcast, just doing a little bit of work beforehand by Will and Dan, and I heard this story and I had the biggest smile on my face. First year drafted in a COVID bubble, first swing of a golf club, hole in one.
Your own sticks?
No, there was some.
Fucking turn it up.
There were these like chunky. They were Callaway, so I think they were right. But these chunky, bloody ones that Dicko would probably use a bit game.
No, they're the old Paps forgiveness clubs.
Yeah,
the big cavities. Yeah. So what? 110 metre shot.
Yeah, it was about 110.
Wind?
Oh, I don't think there was any, to be honest. But
so you've spun a chunky recovery club.
Talk about the celebration.
Yeah, well, I was with I think Ollie and Dill. I reckon James Bell maybe at the time as well. And yeah, we just started sprinting. We sprinted all the way all the way to the hole. I've got a photo on it, so.
Keep playing?
Oh, I actually don't remember. I reckon we just packed it up.
I would have packed it up. I've never had a hole in one.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
unreal.
not really in competition, but I'll take it.
Still take it for
I reckon
sure.
I played two times a week for the last 3 years, and I can't remember even going close to one.
Yeah, I haven't been close since.
Don Pike's got 4.
Shout out to Don. I knocked him off in comp that day. Remember?
He's got 4,
Yeah.
and then he's got one on the golf.
Which is probably harder.
That's unreal.
Hole in one on debut.
Yep, just been drafted in a hub with the boys. Doesn't get much better.
It's good, isn't it?
That's unreal.
Yeah, that was
Ooh,
good.
almost need another beer, but I'll survive. Okay, time to talk ponies. Eyes on ponies. It was a big weekend's racing, both Sydney and Melbourne, Tom. A really tidy set from yourself, stiff with a few of them, and we'll just kick it off with absolutely gutless with one of them. We work as a team now. There's no iron team, but we try and put our heads together on a Saturday morning and win. We want to win, and I suggested having one unit on Hell Hath No Fury, and I looked on Twitter after it won, Pratty, and it had been changed to 0.25. I mean,
I think it only paid $21 as well when Paps put it on too. So.
I've gifted the bloke 70 units of profit, and he's still like just playing the V. Like, I want you to put your right leg way outside your leg stump and open your shoulders and just fucking go for it. You've hit one.
Well, mate, I can't even... I wasn't even backing bloody $4 pops, so I didn't think I was going to be backing $21 pops, so... but that's a great game. And then... Well, it's a funny one, because I was going to have, like, 2.5 units on Manal as well. And... I got talked out of that. So...
No, but by who? By the bloke on your left shoulder. Like...
But... Yeah,
you talked yourself out of that.
I backed it myself. I backed both of myself, but I'm a coward and didn't put it on the crow.
That doesn't help any of the punters, Paps.
I know. So
Chad, he took off Manal, and I said to Pratty in our chat, I said, you know what will happen, like, straight away.
I had to know the thing. Well, the way, we've been working together, and we've got some little things going, and I've had a fuck up. Well, the things we were looking at, didn't really like Manal that much, and then I sort of liked Manal, and then the Hell Hath No Fury, we really liked it, and I fucked it. But anyway, at least we got some units out of it, punters.
What do you think of Storm Boy?
Yeah, I thought it was good. It's I don't know if like it's went for a break off Magic Millions, went to it front on its own, and it kicked away. It's a 2-year-old, kicked away very nicely. It was racing on its own and did what it had to do, and it's a very nice horse. It was a little bit slow away, which is interesting if it does draw wide in the slipper. But I still think it's just going to be too good for him. But unless it does draw the complete car park, but it's Gay Waterhouse and Bot, like they're going to be they'll probably fix that by a slipper. I don't know. I
thought he paraded with a nice bit of condition on him. So, and they're just so hard to knock at the moment. They do not make mistakes. They make mistakes. The horse runs second in the Blue Diamond. I've never seen a stable in better form with elite 2-year-olds than Gay and Adrian Bott, Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott. Chad, Fangirl.
Yep.
Did the bubble burst, my man, or was it just a thing of race shape and good Nash?
I think Nash probably did it for him, didn't he? But I think it was looking a bit soft and slow through there all day, but I think obviously it opened up well, and I think cost my last leg of my multi as well.
Did you both have the Friday night special into those two?
Yeah.
Oh no!
The worst part is randomly heard throughout the day that she'd just had an abrasion on her leg, and I just kept thinking, I might as well just cash out and then the whole day, and then just kept thinking that, and obviously should have.
Paps, what do you think of Fangirl? Obviously, you know, it looked like it was going to be a better setup than it was Saturday morning or Friday afternoon when you had your multi on. You know, you're anticipating a fast, good 4-track. She's always got that little bit of a setback with a pattern, but you weren't anticipating the heavy track or the softer track, which is certainly a setback for Fangirl.
Yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Yet, like you think back, you're like, oh, should I have done that bet? $1.30 goes back to last, and on the day, none were really winning from back there. You wanted to be at least midfield, and yeah, hindsight goes back to last, $1.30 pop, and they weren't running on. I was thinking the worst, and the worst come, but it's a good ride by Nash. But yeah, it's a funny game, the old horse racing. The Fangirl won like Winks. We're not saying it was Winks. Looked like Winks. Can we get that clear? Because there's a few things going around.
I'm with you. Dicko.
It looked like Winks, not it was Winks, or is it going to be the next Winks? It looked like Winks. And then
but
guns
Winks
out
didn't have to run to think it over.
Yeah.
And Nash up the inside,
Yep.
you know, on a raining track at Manly.
But yeah, obviously it was the pattern against and things like that, but it obviously wasn't as good as run as the first up run. It didn't really improve, all things be it was against the bias.
Probably one of the greatest betting opportunities of all time. Next start.
Took the words right out of my mouth,
Fangirl.
I was about to ask you.
$1.30 SP, not suited, soft going. We don't want to back her on a softer, heavy track. But you get her on a good track in any race, you pray to God, Zeus, Allah, Buddha, Bilbo Baggins, Garablet, Senior and Junior, that they give you $3 plus.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say about Fangirl. Anything else at Randwick, boys, that took your eye? Anything of interest? Or do you want to head and look back at a juicy meeting at headquarters Flemington there on Saturday?
My favourite was the Hell Hunt. I was on that. It's the best when you're unsure on the line, but you're leaning towards us.
Yeah.
Because of what you saw. But you just got to wait still, but yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Flemington. What? Comfortably the worst track dished up by that joint in 2 or 3 years. A disgrace, really, for a big day, for such an important day's racing. I think they might have aerated it. It was laney, it was up and in, and it was not what is expected from a great racetrack that Flemington is. All the same, a really nice meeting and some very, very special horses come through it. At least 2 of us probably got on the wrong side of another will, and that was. I've never been to war, but I imagine if you got caught and got tortured and then killed, that's what it would have felt like. Because as soon as it jumped and landed in the forward position, it was all over.
So I laid it as well after speaking to you, and then I was sitting at cricket watching the boys. My internet cut in on Sportsbet literally as they jumped, and then when it came back, it was like 3 lengths in front, and I just literally turned my phone off and just put it straight back in my pocket, and then it vibrated about 3 seconds later of you two going, yeah, well, it's done now, isn't it? It's going to piss in.
It's a pretty special horse.
Looks good, doesn't it?
I think it's a better horse than Jimmy Star.
Will it get an invite? That's the question.
We'll get an invite.
Will it get an invite? Fuck. Just got to ask.
Yeah, well, are they going to accept it, though? Some of them don't really want to go there.
They implied after the race, Tom, they won't accept if they get one.
Yeah, I remember that, actually.
Blake Shin's riding Atishu. Fascinating. What do you think as a punter?
It was interesting. Sort of went forward, and Lukey Curry just sort of, oh, there you go, mate. You just slot in there, just midfield, and yeah, I'll just give you the absolute PR, and away she went. So, yeah, it was a you could say, nice ride by Shin, and a very very a very nice little. What can you say? He just owes Luke Curry a few beers, I'll say that.
And one of the most insightful pieces of information to any young punter out there that you're ever going to get. Post-race, Charlie Duckworth, Waller's man who was representing in Melbourne, almost sprayed the ride, pulled himself up, but was not happy with the tactics employed by Blake Shin 100%, in my opinion. The insight to that, punters, is that horse was ridden outstanding, but the stable wanted it ridden cold. So when you're betting on these horses early in the preparation that are the best horses, bear that in mind. So if you have James McDonald or Blake Shin, Mark Zara, they're going to make their own decisions.
Yep.
You're backing a horse that you're hoping is going to go forward and it's ridden by an apprentice or a younger rider, you're going to do your money. The rider's outstanding. The commentary after was fascinating. Full credit to Racing, the greatest game of all. The Australian Guineas, Southport Tycoon, what a ride, Jay Carr. D Lane's ride on V8 just as good. V8 stiff, given a peach, complete PR. He's had a few PRs in his life, that horse. Come back a much more consistent horse and better horse than he was last preparation. Gone enormous, but Southport Tycoon was just like, he's in third gear on his ear there, wasn't he? Big win. Did you watch that one, Chatty?
Yeah, I did. I think, what were we on? I was on...
we were on Verdad.
Yeah.
We were on King Colorado, that was a bad bet from me, and I apologise. Tried to overcome a bias.
I went Riff Rocket at 3 as well, which, yeah, obviously just way too far back. But
Tom?
I think obviously, like I said before, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but I don't know what you guys have to say, but Southport kind of was really annoying when you watched that win like it did.
The only thing I could I go back and I look at them straight away when I lose, and when I win, I just get on my phone and send gifts. And it had a strong SP profile, that horse, that said it shouldn't have been $20 in that race, and a competent map with a really informed rider. That I missed that. I think Jay Carr's riding like she's very, very close to as good as she ever was again. She's back, so she'll be in like a little sweet spot, you know, at home personally. Like you guys would get that as professional athletes, but their job's tough, you know, and we expect them, like how, you know, the footy fan expects Chad Warner to play like at the 144 Supercoach point level every single week, you know, but you're a human being and you go up and down. But then you go and have a big off season, you can go on a holiday, you can fucking do whatever you want. These jockeys just ride every single week. Every single week. They're never going to be a consistent output of performance, in my opinion. But she's completely back and just in time for the prize money.
Dicko, Southport Tycoon or Atishu have any chance in the All-Star Mile against Brightside?
Southport Tycoon does because it's weight for age.
Yep.
So it'll carry like core weight.
Yeah, no one other will either. So the field's rounded out. The last of the wild cards are Cascadian, Aegon, and Ayrton.
Ayrton's got none. Cascadian ran a huge race in it last year, I reckon.
Yeah, and he's going well.
He's a wetty though. See, that's where Tommy, like, he was very much suited on Saturday to run a really nice race. Like, no one expected him to win. He got through the line beautifully. He's a good horse. That's what he does.
Yeah, Caulfield as well probably won't suit.
But a wet Caulfield would really suit him.
What about V8, Dicko? I didn't look at the data or anything. Get 1600, or was Tycoon really hitting the line well and it was just not good enough, or did it back off the last couple?
I think it gets it. Like it beat everything else pretty well. I think sometimes we can be harsh on a horse that gets done by a horse that has a good day.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes they go, like, if you're sick and you want to like learn something the way I see it, go and watch Russian Camelot run in the Melbourne Cup. Like, he doesn't get 1,300 metres, so he went to run and win that race, and he just like ran out of oxygen. Whereas V8 just sort of ran a nice race, and just a sharper horse on the day killed him.
Yeah.
You know, like Riff Rocket didn't run past him, sort of thing, and Riff Rocket gets 2,500. So,
yeah,
I think he's okay. I think most of those horses are probably 1,400 metre horses, though. I was on Russian Camelot that day, Chad, for a fucking like almost a house deposit, even if it just placed, my man. And I thought at the clock tower I was going to win. Didn't have the shed, the office that I showed you before we started. Yeah. I was in my daughter's room now, and my mum came in, I think with a goat can, and just like patted me on the head as I was on the ground in the fetal position. Honest to God, might have had it here. I thought I was going to win at the clock tower. Watch the replay if you're watching at home, and it just stops. It just stops.
Randwick this weekend, some great racing. Group 1's back again. We've got the Canterbury Stakes. Obviously, that's the Group 1. Imperatrice isn't going there. Think about it. $1.60 fronts the market and should be winning. So that'll be interesting race. Private Eye's running. But, of course, the Todman Stakes, the Group 2, ran over the 1,200 metres. Straight charge at $3.30. Esplanade, $3.80. And the great man Nash has jumped off Getafix to ride Esplanade, so it's going to be.
No.
It's you don't know. It's going to be funny when Getafix runs straight past him and Jason Collett gives him one of those.
That was Nash. He's gone. Sacked from the office. Fuck you, Nash.
Dicko's just thrown his Eduardo.
I didn't even see it.
Dicko's just ripped Eduardo off the wall with Nash on top and thrown it onto the couch. It's gone.
Dog.
But anyway, Nash has jumped off, so Colette's on, and we're at $26 and $7.25 to place, which is a nice little price that you can have something on, and I think the place bet is a good bet.
What are some of the key words that John has given you guys as owners? Like, as he said, ready to go. I bet you he said he'll improve off whatever he does.
Doesn't every trainer say that?
Yeah, I do. That's all I know.
Yeah. It's obviously had the spell. These horses are 2 runs in, 1 run into their prep. We're not going to go to the slipper. Unless
hang on.
jump.
Can I stop you? I love you, but I want to stop you. I will shave my head if you win this race on Saturday and don't go to the slipper.
Yeah, and you didn't let me finish.
Oh.
We'll be running in this race, and if we do run top 2, we will be going to the slipper, and if we don't, we'll be steering clear and go into the sires.
Did he get you into this horse, Chad? Because, like, we sit here, Pratty and I, and just watch this bloke have one of the greatest lives of all time. Like, look at the week he's got ahead of him. He's got to try and sleep for 2 days. He's got to try and get to sleep twice before he goes one of the biggest games of all time from a packed SCG. Then he's got to try and sleep again, which is tough anyway, but he's got to do it again. This could be enormous. If he wins this race, you're away.
I'm actually not on this one, unfortunately. I think the boys got a great opportunity back in the Magic Million. So it was, what was it, a couple of years ago now?
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? I'm not going to be there. I've got a wedding.
Oh no!
One of my aunties that I love very much, and she better be bloody appreciative, because if this thing wins, I'm going to miss one of the great celebrations. If I was on track, it would just be an absolute. And it won. It would be extraordinary stuff.
It's one of the hottest races of all time, eh?
Oh, it is, mate.
Like
Straight
Shanghai
charge,
Express,
Espionage.
Bodyguard, Switzerland,
mate.
straight charge, Espionage. Like, it's so hot.
That's what I'm just like. It's a strong 2-year-old crop. Like, it could have just been a crap one, and we just like go well. And but
100%. Has there been any update from John about the hog situation? Like, has there been any progression made about sort of de-stimulizing him mentally?
Yeah, he went to had an exhibition gallop at Randwick on the weekend, and his mind was on the job. No cock out, and yeah, so it was good. His mind was on the job, and he raced a little bit green, but he was good. He ran next to Waha Falls. Yeah, it'll be good.
What ponies have been catching your eye, Chad? Looking forward.
I've got a few actually coming out of the WA produce over the next couple of days. So hopefully.
So you focus on your WA form as like your sort of main thing you do.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm anything special at all, but WA, I guess I know a lot more of the horses over there, and I guess what they get up to, and kind of got a few mates as well that I work with, so I've got a bit of an interest over there too, which is great. Own a few, and yeah, got good connections with the boys there.
Which are the horses that you've got an eye on?
Yeah, I mean tomorrow, Ascot, race 7. I think should be pretty late over here, maybe about 8 o'clock. One out of the Russell Stewart trained stable. We've got Stylish Lord. I think it's about 450 at the moment. The 3-year-old won pretty well first up last start. Looking to be a bit of a derby prep. And I think should park on speed on a pretty good day for that. And I think WA racing at the moment has been fairly dominated by the on speed and up front runners. Kind of on that second, maybe breeze outside leader lane. So hopefully he can land in a pretty good spot. And then moving on to Thursday, Pinjarra heading down.
Oh, I love this.
Down south about an hour. We got Flying Shoe, spelled CHOUX.
Race and number, Pinjarra race.
Race 2, number 4.
Race 2, number 4, Flying Shoe.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is another 3-year-old gelding. Sharon Miller trains, and first starter actually going to be on debut on Thursday. The trials have been huge and finds, I think, a very winnable race on debut, and I think most importantly gets to the 1300 instead of 1000 or 1200, which I think would be pretty positive. And it's drawn a little bit wideish, but I think the trials suggest that getting cover will probably be the ideal spot for this gelding. And I think the two favourites should lead and attack each other, hopefully really put some speed on the race. And anything above $8 plus, I think would be great for that.
Hey,
Lovely, Chatty.
like you're one of us.
Yeah, no,
He's good.
it's not all my own work. It's not all my own work, but
Hey,
get
that makes you
it
more
really-
one of us.
yeah.
We share.
And the Zipaway mail, we got a little bit of insight that he might be coming back to Perth. And I think it's $9 at the moment for the WATC Derby, which could be a great bet.
Zipaway, $9 to win the WATC Derby or Derby, if you're playing over there.
Derby over there, yeah.
Mm.
Zipaway. Pratty, pound that across the socials, especially the Zipaway. People love futures, and that makes a lot of sense to me. That horse was what price did it start in the Australian Guineas?
I think it was about $19.
Yeah, that's the easiest bet of all time.
Yeah,
Easiest bet of all time. Just off its SP profile, Tommy.
Yeah, the run before that, where he ran third, it was pretty decent. And then obviously on the weekend, a bit of a butcher by Parnham, just with I think maybe the grade and stuff going on over there, and kind of panicked a little bit and
Got a bit lost.
Yeah, 3 wide the trip, so obviously disregard that.
Hey, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Very much the best of luck this year, big year ahead. I hope to see you on our show regularly throughout the season in what I'm feeling could be a premiership year, maybe could even be a Brownlow year. I don't know. But it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Thank you very much, and have a big night on Thursday night, my man.
Thank you. No, well, thanks for having me, and it's been an absolute pleasure. I can't wait to join you in the weeks to come as well. So hopefully after a few good wins as well.
Love hearing
And
that.
golf very soon. Very, very soon.
Oh, definitely.
Rugby League was back. They went to Las Vegas. It almost went out without a hitch. There's a bit of a setback, an ugly setback, but we won't really talk about that because it is just too ugly. But I thought the whole thing was done extremely well. It was very, very exciting to just have good rugby league back. I watched both games. I think Manly look like deadly if they can keep Turbo fit. They are potent and they should be better with a wider field. Luke Brooks fits into that side outstanding. The game we're going to sort of focus on though is the Chooks versus the Broncos. A little bit of an upset, Tommy.
Yeah, it was a good game, that game, wasn't it? It was a good NRL game. I actually sat down after training and watched it. I was impressed by Teddy. Jeez, he was good. He looked back, didn't he?
It's like AFL thing off the dropout.
Yeah.
That was like AFL style.
Yeah, he was heavy. Was his catching? Like his catching in that was unbelievable. Like 1-on-1v1s, just grabbing it.
Yeah,
it's good to see. I like Teddy. I love the way he goes about it. He had a bit of a quiet year last year, I suppose, in the New South Wales talk and the Aussie talks against him. But geez, if that first game's anything to go by, he'll be in for a good year. So it was good to see Teddy back. Who else was good? Victor, my man. He was real good.
Oh.
He was dropping blokes and just doing good shit.
Cheese was good when he was out there.
Suwali at the wing.
Yeah,
he was good.
Yeah.
He's off to uni next year though, isn't he?
Yep, he is on a ton. Can't blame him. Wouldn't do anything different.
On the skinny field, geez, it was dangerous down those wings though. Like
a few blokes went into the boards a couple of times, eh?
Yeah, geez, it was dangerous. I can't believe they actually allowed that.
Well, I think I have like a very much a mentality of like this is for the betterment of our sport, and they all by that one bloke just got on with it. Because there's a couple of times where I agree with you, and if that happened at like Penrith or Shark Park, you could see him sort of blowing up a bit.
Yeah.
And they just got on with it. I think the Broncos will improve significantly just with the wider field and the run under their belt. They look to run out of like width often, and Reece Walsh looks so fucking scary.
Fucking quick is he? He's so fucking quick.
Good. He's good to watch, isn't he?
I'm in a draft Supercoach league, and I had pick 3, and I picked him. Pratty, that's how much he's...
Mate, he fucking, like, my first time sitting down and watching, I watched the half of the first game and then watched basically the whole of the Roosters-Broncos game. When he got the ball, like, I can see why it's so appealing, that sport. He was fucking unbelievable. I loved watching it.
You worried about the bunnies?
Bunnies, my man, Latrell, he was good, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, should have seen him at the start. Like, obviously, you didn't watch much of it, but... Of all the players who went over there, he was the one that stamped himself the hardest to any potential NFL scouts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the body for it, and he just, like... He squared a few bucks up and just steamrolled a couple. And like, unbelievable.
How quick was that pass that he threw to the outside on the right for, was it Gagai who scored? How fucking quick was that pass to his right side? That was fucking lightning hands.
Cheeky
like his
little
hand went so quick through the ball.
He did a great job for us in Supercoach. The only
High
setback
scorer.
we had in Supercoach was the head knock man, Pierre Cura.
Yeah, that hurt, didn't it? He was our pickup.
Ben scored and Jacob Gagai scored as well. So the two cash cows off to a good start, which is always good.
Basically, overall, we're reasonably happy outside of Pete Cora with our early start to our NRL Supercoach season. Obviously, Pete Cura's probably on the chopping block looking ahead for round 2, and chances are our team will be slightly adjusted when Pratt and I and Tom go through the teams that are actually selected for the upcoming weeks. So there's a bit of mail going around that Money Munster had a little bit of a slip in a bathroom and might be going to miss things like that. Yeah. We might have to pivot. If we have to pivot, we will. But
does it surprise you that the Roosters on a direct flight won their game? Do you reckon they were a little bit more...
I told you 3 weeks ago, didn't I?
Yep, you did.
All right, that's NRL. That's been essentially the other crow. Hang around for a bit of AFL Supercoach, where Pratty and I just tidy up. We've got to adjust for a couple of things that have happened. There's a knife that's sort of announced himself as he's not gone. He might be completely back. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Tommy, the very, very best of luck. If Emma wasn't heavily pregnant, I'd be up there. Probably would have tried to get J-Mac with me. Probably would have put pressure in to get us a box. Maybe even brought Pratty. And I'm so jealous I'm not there on Thursday night. I can't wait to watch it. And I'm sure most of the people listening, I'd say most people listening, we're fucking roaring for you, man. Hope you have a big start to a massive year for the footy club and for yourself. God bless you and good luck on Thursday night.
Good luck, mate.
And go get a fix.
Thanks, boys. I'm pumped. Really looking forward to it.
Supercoach, Pratty, AFL. Round 0 kicks off Thursday night, as we've spoken about endlessly on our show. It doesn't count towards this year's Supercoach, but it's obviously a fairly big indicator as to how they go.
Yep, big gift.
we've got a few problems because we're obviously loyal to the Swans and want to look after them and we want to cheer them. Cheer the red and white. Is it a bit of a high risk play to be heavy them, given they're playing round 0?
Yeah. It just means that they have that extra bye that we've got to account for because they play round 0. So I think on those weeks where those teams are playing those byes, it's just best 18. You don't have to put people into positions, but if you have 5 of the Swannies boys who are all top tier players, then that's your top tier scores, and they're going to go out the window. And we want to win head to head games, right? So
I'm a head to head focused man.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
As it stands, do you want to roll through our list, or what do we want to do?
Yeah, do that. Roll through the list.
Defenders. Chances are our team may change before we start, but this is where we're at right now. Nick Dacos and captain. I don't like it, but he's just a weapon, so we've got to have him. Sheasel, Young from Fremantle, Gibcus from Richmond, Reed from the Bombers, Cofield from the Doggies on the bench, Pink from North, and Zach Williams from Carlton's holding down a spot in our backline right now. Mail is he's going to have a game this weekend. That's from Pratty.
Yeah, so it could be a lot.
We'll just sort of watch an act there. In the guts, Errol Goulden, T Green, A Brayshaw, C Warner. Jeez, he was good tonight. J Steele, O Wines, Justin McInerney, R Sanders, and on the bench, M Roberts from the Swans. R Sanders was from the Dogs. J Hua from the Giants. And W. Rowland from the Suns. In the rucks, we've gone heavy. We've gone big guns. B. Grundy and M. Gorn. They're going to go head-to-head, toe-to-toe Thursday night, so we'll learn a little bit there.
Yep.
And F. Malay on the bench. Up front in the forwards, C. Kernow. N. Fife. F. McRae from the Pies. N. Manamana from the Cats, H. Reid from West Coast, T. Papley from the Sydney Swans, A. Sexton on the bench from the Suns, and H. Garcia from the Saints. That's how we're looking at the moment. Obviously, it goes without saying it's a big night on Thursday night for Juzzy. Like, how badly does he want to play for Early Crow FC? Well, we're going to find out on Thursday night. Thoughts, potential moves, or anything of interest there, Pratty?
Yeah, I think you spoke Fife into existence, and then I watched his game on the weekend, and he back playing bulk midfield, so I think it's a no-brainer. I think he's 283k, so I think the main part about that is as well as that he's very well owned. If he does have a stinker, well, everybody with him is going to have a stinker as well.
Good insight too into how we operate. Like I told him, I said, "Hey, Pratty, put him in."
Yeah,
and he didn't listen. Then he's heater and play well, and then he put him in. So
I flat out said no. Yep,
I'm definitely sort of the vice captain of this.
Here we go.
Early Crow FC AFL Supercoach side in this early stages. Obviously, Nick Dacos has found his way in.
Yeah. Yeah, so 52% owned. So if it's half the side's going down with us, if he goes no good, hopefully he can stay injury free. Because what a good player to watch as well.
Yeah, superstar, one of the greats to watch. Anything else to add?
Nah, not really. I think Ollie Wines is somebody who's the time that he's played on ground, he's played bulk midfield. So at that discounted price as well of 463,000, I think would it be crazy for us to not have him in. And then a few of the, like Jay Were and W. Rowlands, I got no idea if they're going to get a game or not, but they're in the side currently. One to watch, and that's a lock that we're going to have Dicko. Alex Sexton used to play up forward for Gold Coast. He's had back-to-back 30 possession games playing in the defence for the Gold Coast Suns. So he's a chance to...
The old
punt.
AFL golden switch, there's nothing easier going forward to back.
Correct. Or outside, inside barriers.
Anyone could be a backman.
Yep, so... he's an absolute lock for somebody who was a good footy player anyway, and he's only 133k. So
if I was drafting, I'd never draft a backman.
Just turn all the forwards into
Just
backman.
draft a forward and turn him into a backman.
Love that. Do you reckon we ever see Paps go back in his career or what?
Nah, no way.
You wouldn't let it happen.
Yeah, you don't see any Rolls Royces down the back there.
No, 100%. But nah,
He's obviously a lock, and I will push for captaincy. But we are Swans heavy, so it's looking like Juzzy's on shaky ground. We'll update that when we get closer to kick-off. But
yeah, we get to watch eight teams go around this weekend over 4 games. It's amazing.
Who we got?
We've got it's
obviously
Sydney
got
and Melbourne.
Swans, Melbourne, the D's. They go up to the SCG. They get to take on 45,000 screaming New South Welshmen, some icons of the game, some club legends. It's going to be an intimidating place to go. Plus, they've got Brody Grundy out to prove a point, and James Jordan.
Yeah,
who's not in our side at the moment.
No, he might. Let's see how he goes this week. He might make his way in for sure. It's going to be a big game on Thursday night. And how's this? I've already said to Michelle, I said, look, I want to watch the footy Thursday night, first game. She goes, if it's the Swans or the Pies, go for it. If not, we can have a discussion. So I was like, well, it's the fucking Swannies, so we're all good. So we're on there. Get it on the big 75-inch TV and watch the boys of the Swans.
75-inch there for you players at home.
Yep. Then you've got Lions versus Carlton on Friday night up at the Gabba.
The Gabbatoir.
With Wiedering no good for Carlton and also Sam Walsh, I think that's going to be a very tall task for Carlton to get across the line there. Some good footy this weekend, hey?
Wow.
Yeah. It's a shame about Carlton going a little bit undermanned in defence, but otherwise they should be 4 really good games of footy. I honestly cannot wait for Thursday night. I'm looking forward to it. I've got to go out for my mother dearest's birthday, but I'll be pushing to get that one wrapped up pretty quick so we can get back for the first 7:30 kickoff.
7:30 kickoff. Have to get the kids to bed nice and early.
Yep. Put some blackout blinds in, mate, to try and get them into bed and asleep before the bounce of the ball. Just
bribe them with something good to do Friday morning.
Yeah, and just pray don't cheer too loud in the shed when Paps kicks tenner.
I think he might kick 4 or 5. It's hard to rack them up on the SCG though.
No, true.
And it's hot. It's early. It's late summer, so it's not going to be too dewy though.
Yeah.
So chance. Yeah.
No, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it a lot. Well, our Supercoach side will give you won't say definitive because things can always change, especially with ins and outs and people who are actually named. But next week we'll give you a rundown of who we've gone with. No doubt there'll be punch-ons after these 4 games between me and you about who we should select, and I'm looking forward to it, really.
No, so far it's been all right, mate. You've sort of seen the light with Fife.
So it's been all right because you've got your way, is that what you're saying?
Slowly, yeah. Footy's back. NRL back Sunday. It was outstanding, I thought.
Yep.
I can't wait to watch it all. Group 1 racing all across the weekend. Footy's on, footy's here again. Back to meet me like an old friend. Look good. Feel good.
We didn't touch on your haircut, which is something we really should have done. You've just gone the
Paps.
exact
Paps special.
Paps. Yeah. So you said to your missus...
Skin fade. Got rid of all the greys too when she did it, which was great.
Did you say skin fade a little bit higher than usual, shape it into a mohawk and just leave it the same length all over? Is that what you said?
No, she took a bit off the top too.
Oh.
She took a lot off these little points here accidentally by the look of that. But
yep.
Yeah. Look good, feel good, bet good, baby.
Love it. Well, that might do us for the week, eh?
That's been the Early Crow episode 22, brought to you by, if you want it to be brought by you, get in touch with Pratty. I don't know how, but find a way.
The Early Crow podcast at gmail.com. Send me an email.
Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you have a phenomenal weekend. We're going to be back towards the end of the week with a bonus podcast, potentially, with a high-profile horse trainer. Have a phenomenal week.